Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. A very good afternoon to one and all. Respected chief guest of our today's session, Dr. Tapasya Karimure ma'am. Faculty for today, Dr. Shuchi Batra. Chairperson for today, Dr. JC Sanjana Agrawal. Secretary JC and Nagpur Medico, Dr. Deepika Chandu. All the JCs and non-JCs who have joined us for today's session, which is diet as an exam changer. We all know that while we are studying for our exams, we are under so much stress, but hungry as well. So this hunger is satisfied by a lot of munching on a lot of non healthy stuff, and sometimes also the midnight snacking. But क्या हमें ये सबको पता है कि diet is such an important uh, aspect of our the exams also, because sometimes some of the patients, they have come to me around their exams and their hemoglobin has come as 7, 6, 8, like that. So definitely when you have anemia or when you have vitamin deficiency, somewhere or other your studies are definitely affected. And today we are very fortunate to have with us Dr. Shuchi Batra, who is going to tell all about the diet and what exactly and how we should be consuming it during our exams. So to start with the session with, I would like to invite Junior JC Chairperson, JC Sanjana Agrawal, for the further proceedings. Over to you, Sanjana.
Thank you, Swati ma'am. Good evening, everyone. A warm welcome for the today's training, Diet as an Exam Changer. So as we all know that good nutrition is very important for leading a healthy lifestyle. So now it's time to learn its importance during our exams. What diet actually we need to take during our exams. So beginning with the session, I request our today's project secretary, JC Anusha Devasi, to kindly introduce our dynamic chief guest, Dr. Tapasya Karimure ma'am. Over to you, Anusha.
Thank you, Sanjana ma'am. It is said that setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into visible. But today, I have the honor of introducing a woman who has relentlessly conquered her every goal. Ma'am has completed her graduation and post-graduation from Sharad Pawar Dental College and Hospital, Savangi. She also has a doctorate in oral medicine and radiology and is a FAIMER fellow. She has presented numerous papers and has been the invited speaker at many international, national, and state level conferences. Ma'am has commendably contributed to the field of education, and she's also an approved faculty for dental education technology for faculties and resident in MUH's Nashik. She is a consultant radiologist and owns a state of the art CBCT center here at Nagpur. So please welcome this brilliant hard worker who always puts her heart and soul into all that she undertakes. Our chief guest for the day, Dr. Tapasya Karimure ma'am. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Anusha, for the wonderful introduction of our chief guest. Hearty welcome, ma'am. It's an honor to have you as a chief guest for the today's session. I request our today's chief guest, Dr. Tapasya Karimure ma'am, to kindly enlighten us with her words.
Thank you, Sanjana. Thank you, Team JCI, for having me here, especially Dr. Deepika Chandu. And today's speaker, Dr. Suchi Batra, is my student also, so it's really an honor to be there and listen to her again. I would say that eating healthy food fills your body with energy and nutrients. And imagine that when you eat something very good, your cells smile back to you and then they will say thank you. As per my knowledge, this program is for students who appear for the exam. And I hope that the age which is there for audience today, hello? Yeah?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah. The age for the audience today must be teenagers or the college going students.
Yes, ma'am.
So whenever we say about food, I know Shuchi is going to tell us in detail, but what I feel about it is food is really, really very much important factor in day-to-day life, not only for the exams, but if you prepare your mind and body for any of the challenges you are going to face, it would be a great, great help. So whenever we try to be healthy, we need our food to be very good and our mind to be stable. And let us see what Shuchi is going to tell us about it now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your inspiring and motivating words. Now I request for the today's session Project Director JC Vibhor Laddar to kindly introduce our today's trainer, Dr. Suchi Batra ma'am. Over to you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. It is my proud privilege to introduce today's speaker, Dr. Suchi Batra ma'am, a smiling dental surgeon by profession. She has done her BDS from VSPM Dental College, Nagpur, and MDS in Oral Pathology and Macrobiology from SPDC Wardha. In 2018, she was awarded Most Active Participant in Symbiotic Interdepartment Scientific Activity. She has received many prizes for the scientific paper presentation and poster presentation in various conferences. She has given many lectures on weight loss journey and gum and heart diseases. She has attended many CDE programs and also participated in 15th Annual Scientific Conclave of Nutrition of Society of India. She has participated in 30-kilometer peace cycle rally and also organized No Tobacco Awareness Program at National District and Chemist and Druggist Association in 2019. So here I present before you such a dynamic personality, Dr. Suchi Batra ma'am.
Thank you, Vibhor, for such a lovely introduction, firstly. And first of all, before I begin, I would like to thank Team JCI for giving me this opportunity to share my experiences, and especially Sanjana, Dr. Swati ma'am. And it's such an honor to speak in front of my own teacher, Dr. Tapasya Karipure ma'am, because she has been my role model like throughout my BDS. So I'm really honored, genuinely honored to be speaking in front of you. So thank you all again. So let's begin. I'll just share my screen. Yeah.
To disturb you in between.
Yeah.
We start the session. I would like to thank our today's chief guest, Dr. Tapasya Karimore ma'am, for joining and giving her valuable time. It will be a great honor if you continue with the session. Thank you, ma'am. Suchi ma'am, now we can start.
Yeah. So
Thank
should
you.
I
Thank you,
share my
Sanjana.
screen?
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's begin. So before I start, just a small introduction to begin with. See, when we are preparing for our exams, often our good nutrition, the priority towards it actually slides down. But actually, we should know this, that if we are taking proper nutrition and having a proper lifestyle, then we are, just a moment. Yeah. So we are actually, just a moment, I'm just getting some trouble with the screen.
Sure, ma'am, you can take your time.
Just a moment. Huh? Actually, the screen is getting off. Like, just a moment.
Sure, ma'am.
So yeah, so if we have good nutrition and like a good lifestyle, then we are bound to perform better in our exams, because it actually energizes our like our body, and we are, of course, it's bound to give us good exam results. So yeah, so let's start. Also, I would like to share a small story with you all, because I have myself lost a lot of weight. Like, I'll just show you my picture. I had gained a lot of weight in my MDS, and because of the sedentary lifestyle, and also because of unhealthy eating. I was living in a hostel, and I had started, like, because I was just sitting in one place, I had stopped gymming. I was like eating like a lot of sweet, maybe because of stress eating. So that actually led me gain some 25 kgs, and actually I was feeling I was feeling unfit from inside. And that actually, like, I decided that after I am done with my master's examination, I'll go back home and I'll just focus on my fitness for a few months. And I started reading a lot of fitness books, started following a lot of YouTube channels, and started following a lot of like nutritionists all over the world. And I realized that, of course, I lost those 25 kilos. But what I realized through this journey was that it's not about looking slim or about having a slim waist, but it is about your inner strength and fitness. Yeah, so this was about my a little bit about my journey, because even you all are like preparing for your exams. So I'll share a few tips that I did to lose my weight and like become fit, and that will also help you in your exam performance. Like it will give you a better exam performance. So yeah, so first thing that I want to share with you all is that where like wherever I go, people often ask me that how did you lose your weight. So first of all, remember this: be it an exam going student or anybody, this is the ground rule actually. You need to understand that being fit or like performing better in your exams, that will only happen if you are like having a balance between your fun, food, and fitness. You cannot just keep monotonously eating, because actually we are living in the 21st century where there's junk food all around you, and your life has to be a balance of fitness, fun, and food. So do something that has the capacity to evolve into a lifestyle, that is to start doing keto or intermittent. That help, like actually that is just a 2 day or a 2 month affair. So do something that you can.
Suchi,
Yes.
Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah.
Slides are not visible, ma'am.
Just a moment. I'll share it again.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
You saw the previous slide?
No, ma'am. Actually, from the starting, the slides were not visible.
Okay. Yeah. So the second, I'll show it to you again. This is the slide where I was talking about my weight loss journey. Like how did I lose those 25 kilos? And yeah, so we were talking about our like I was talking about how to like we have to basically learn to understand, like it's not about like looking slim or like being thin. It's about learning about food sciences and making better food choices, and also understanding that you're living in the 21st century where there's junk food all around you. So your life has to be a balance of fitness, fun, and food. So do something that you're enjoying along the way and make it a habit. Don't don't do something out of compulsion. Enjoy it. Enjoy your food. So that is the idea I promote. Now the second thing is that see, because we are having a sedentary life, as we are preparing for our exams, we are sitting in one place. So what you can do is I would suggest you to be active the whole day. Like when you're done studying one chapter, you can take a break, take strolls. Don't like just keep sitting at one place. Like take a stroll after your dinner, like maybe 100 steps after your dinner. And that actually, if you keep like taking breaks in between, you will actually get refreshed, and you will return back to your study table with a refreshed mind, and you can grasp better. And always remember that I'm not talking about exercise here, that I'll talk separately. I'm talking about being active the whole day. Like instead of taking take stairs instead of taking the lift. And if you're going out somewhere, maybe to buy your books or whatever, like just buying something, park your car away, like far away from your destination, or maybe take a cycle. Just be active the whole day basically. So that is one thing. Then second thing that I want to talk about is sugar, because like sugar these days is considered as an evil. Like people just are promoting this idea that sugar is bad for health, but I wouldn't believe this. Like I wouldn't recommend this also, because sugar is one of the panchamrits in our Indian tradition. So we need to have sugar in our diet, because it is glucose that we all know, and it will, like, for proper functioning of brain and everything else also, we need a lot of sugar. Not a lot, but of course in moderation. So I'll just tell you a few things regarding, like when we're preparing for your exams, make sure that you're not eating something that is coming out of a packet. Like what do we tend to do? Our general tendency is that we'll have a cup of tea without sugar, but we'll have a piece of Marie biscuit or a cookie with it, thinking that white sugar is harmful. But Marie biscuit has way more sugar than white sugar, so like plain white sugar. So have like if you're having your tea or milk, you can add 2 spoons of sugar. That won't harm you. But what you have to avoid is those packaged colas and all those things, because actually that makes your brain lethargic, which will hamper your exam performance. So that is one thing. And always remember, choose Indian desserts over Western desserts, like say your halwa or your besan laddu. you can have them as an evening snack. Like you can roll a chapati with good and good and ghee after coming back from college, and like for your evening snack, like before you sit down to study. That will actually energize your mind. And that actually college se aane ke baad we are actually a little jittery and irritable because of low sugar level. So before you start to study, like make sure you're having a wholesome good snack, like maybe a laddu or like some good snack, maybe a fruit or something that will help you perform better in your exams. Which brings me to, because we were talking about sugar, so you should include jaggery, sugarcane, honey, and peanuts in your diet. These can be good snack options like chicky and your sugarcane juice, or maybe you can munch on sugarcane directly, like the ganna that we have. So that actually helps you increase your hemoglobin, which will increase your concentration, and it also boosts your immunity, which is the need of the hour to fight the coronavirus. So this was about sugar and like sugar substitutes. Now we'll talk about fruits. So I've seen people, the biggest dietary mistake that people do is that they have too many fruits way too often. Like they just think that somehow fruit is healthy and other things are unhealthy. But of course, fruit is healthy. It will provide you with antioxidants, vitamins, minerals that are very important for like your body. But there is a correct way of having fruit that not many people know. So I'll share a few golden rules to consume fruit. First thing is always start your day with a fruit. Like always start your day with, I start my day with a banana. It actually helps your sugar being stable the whole day. That will actually help you concentrate better and perform better also. And avoid having fruits ideally after 5 p.m. And don't have a fruit with your main meals like your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Have it as a snack. Like I just before we began with this session, I just had my banana. Like have a fruit as a meal in itself. Don't have it with anything else. Avoid making juices because like we have teeth, so better chew on your fruit rather than having a juice, because if you're chewing, you will actually, like, of course your muscles will be working more and you will get more nutrients. Like your fibers are lost if you convert it into a juice. So that is one thing. Yeah, so these were some golden tips regarding consumption of fruit. We already talked about banana. Banana is actually a superfood. So you need to start your day with a banana because that actually keeps your sugar stable, that I've already mentioned. It removes all your hormonal disturbances also, because these days girls are suffering from PCOD and thyroid and all those things. So this actually helps. This step will actually start your day with a like water, and then you can have your banana. And then you can like have some like workout or whatever you can carry on with your routine. Now we'll talk about carbohydrates. I have actually, like, before I began this journey of my fitness journey, I actually had started like stopped eating carbs, thinking that it actually gains like weight. But I was under this misconception, and it is totally a myth. You need to eat carbs because carbs are very important for your body. Also, I'll talk about other nutrients as well. But carbs are important because they, first of all, they enhance the taste. Then they help you digest your like absorb your fats. Then there is a protein sparing action, which means that carbs are energy giving and proteins are bodybuilding for bodybuilding. So let them, like, people I've seen, they generally stop eating rice and roti and they're just eating dal and like your sabzi. So I don't think you should do that. Have your carbs as well, because that is very important to boost up your concentration. Like you need it, like, but make sure that you're having rice for dinner and roti for lunch. That will actually avoid you for that afternoon slack which we get. Like we become really sleepy after having rice. So, but have rice. Don't be scared of having carbs. This is just a myth. They actually have a lot of benefits. So you need to eat carbs as well. Now I'll talk about proteins. Like I'll talked about carbs. So, and people are actually, I've seen people are running after proteins. Like children these days, like they're into bodybuilding and they're just eating chicken and they're just eating protein shakes. So I would say that, see, our Indian diet, our traditional Indian diet, like the combination dal chawal or maybe the dahi rice or maybe your pulao raita, all these things, like the combination, the protein and carbs, the combination, actually it makes it a complete protein. Like the proteins that are absent in rice are present in dal and vice versa. So when you eat it in combination, that actually gives you complete amino acid profile. So no need to run after those supplements or some steroids or all those things. Just focus on your normal Indian food, like our thali, our Indian traditional thali. That will actually give you all the nutrients that are needed by the body. Now we talk about the most important nutrient, which is water. So see, now water is very important, like not just for an exam going student, but for everybody. But like, see, for if you're going for your exams, you can carry these lassi or chas or panna or any other sharbat or nimbu pani in your water bottles, and keep sipping them between your exams. And also, otherwise, also when you're just preparing, keep a bottle with you. Like, see, I have my a copper bottle always with me. It acts like my best friend. I'm always carrying it everywhere. So carry your water bottle everywhere. Don't forget to hydrate yourself, because like that is the most important. Like we all know that 70% of our body is made of water, so we need to drink a lot of water. And there's a trick to it, because people ask me how much water. So always, whenever you're urinating, check the color of your urine. If it is crystal clear white in color, that means you're hydrated. And if it is like turning into like yellow shade, then that means you're dehydrated. So accordingly you can alter your water consumption, but make sure that you are having sufficient water, and also include those sharbats and all that I mentioned, that keep you hydrated and your sugar stable. You won't get those sugar cravings which you otherwise get. Now we talk about vegetables. So see, I have seen people these days, like children, because they are too much into this fitness, and like the girls are really conscious about their body, the youngsters especially. So they just start eating salads and soups, and they are not eating their proper sabzi. So I would suggest that don't like do this. Have your salad as a side dish, and have your vegetables like the way your grandmother or your mother has been cooking it all this while. So like, and also consume your seasonal vegetables. Like right now it's rainy season, so we usually eat water-based vegetables like pumpkin, loki, turai, and all those things. So we should also understand the crop cycle, and we should understand when is the crop growing. Like we eat our green leafy vegetables in winter. So like accordingly, according to our tradition, according to what is grown around us, like preferably have something that is grown in 100 kilometer radius of your area. And also mention that like make sure that it's seasonal. So yeah, this was about vegetables, but don't overdo. Like over consumption of fiber will actually lead to mineral like hamper. It will hamper your mineral absorption. So better like have your vegetables like the way we have it, like with those tadkas and all those cooked in oil and with all those spices. That actually helps you. The spices will help you boost the immunity also. So now we come to fat, because I've seen like when children are preparing for their exams, they just stop eating fat. They think that we're just sitting in one place, so we'll become fat, and they stop eating fat. So, but I would say that you should eat fat, because always remember that fat will burn your fat. And of course, it is a concentrated source of energy, like fats. So your brain needs fats for its proper functioning. So you need to eat proper amounts of fats. And just one tip, like whenever you're cooking food in any oil, make sure it's ghani oil and not your refined oil, because refined oil goes through so many processes of refining that it has no nutrients left. So consume ghani oil, preferably seasonal. Like in summer season we usually use groundnut, in winters we use till. So accordingly, and according to your taste, like South India uses a lot of coconut oil, your eastern part uses a lot of mustard oil. So accordingly, according to your region, tradition, your likings, whatever you like, but make sure it's ghani oil and not your refined oil. This brings me to ghee. See, people जो बोलते हैं ना, like students की हमें answer याद नहीं आया exam के बाद. So start eating ghee. Like ghee is very important. Always remember that, of course, in Indian tradition, right from the time we are like start eating something to the time we die, like ghee has a major role in our lives, especially Indians. So even the Western world has started adopting like ghee. They call it clarified butter. So they serve it with waffles and all. So we should not forget our most traditional thing, that is ghee. It will boost your immunity, and also it has many other benefits. Like it has those small chain fatty acids that burn your stubborn fat. Then it keeps your hair and skin really well. It boosts your immunity. It prevents constipation. The list is endless. Like include ghee without guilt, without doubt, and without fear. 1 spoon daily for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner each. don't forget to do that. Yeah. Which brings me to a few snacks. Like I believe in eating like your three main meals, that is breakfast, lunch, dinner. Never skip your breakfast, and include your mid snacks, like three mid snacks. Like so, what happens is if you give a lot of gaps between your meals, like say you're having a breakfast at 8 and then directly having a lunch at 2, there's a big slag in between, and that will actually like affect on your performance even in the exam, and like otherwise also you won't be able to concentrate in your class. So just like when one class ends and you are just about to go to the next class, have your carry some small like it's not very difficult to slip in a slice of cheese or handful of nuts or like a fruit or some drink with you. So just sip it and like get going with your, that will actually help you boost your concentration. And even while you're writing your exam, as I said, keep sipping those sharbats with you, like keep them with you. So yeah, this is one good tip that will avoid you from overeating. Which brings me to exercise, because see, with my experience, I'll share my experience. Like when I was in my BDS, I never exercised, and that was the biggest mistake that I did, because exercise should be a non-negotiable aspect of your life. Uh, See, why we should exercise? Of course, it will keep your mind fresh. Your blood circulation will be really high towards your brain. That will help you concentrate better. But apart from that, I'll just quote one example. Like if you buy a nice car and just keep it parked in your garage, then it's bound to like spoil one day. Same goes with our body, because human body is made to be active. So include at least 45 minutes to 1 hour of good proper exercise apart from walking, like say cycling, gymming, yoga, swimming, whatever you love, and do something that you really like, because if you don't like it, you won't continue it for long. And which exercise to select is, I would say that any exercise that is being done is the best exercise. And what one tip I'll give for this exam preparation thing is that generally what happens is that the whole year we don't study, and then at the end we are just like stressed about our exams, and then we don't exercise because because of lack of time. So I would suggest that why not we prepare our exams from the start of the year, like from the day one we start studying, and also focus on our exercise. Like that will actually help you exercise even during exam times, which children generally avoid, because they are just like staying awake whole night, and they don't get time to exercise because of studies. So yeah, so this is a good tip to like balance your studies and exercise and your fitness and your concentration and everything. So yeah, so this was about exercise. Now I would like to talk about cheating. Of course, like while you're preparing for your exams, like when you are giving your exams, avoid having those junk food. But like otherwise, when the whole year, like when you're preparing for your exams, or maybe when you're like in your normal schedule, like your normal college routine, so just include one cheat meal in your diet. Like say for me, Sunday lunch is my cheat meal. And that's just one meal like a week. So I go out and like, except of course not like apart from the corona days, but otherwise I used to go out and eat one cheat meal, because that actually helps you keep you motivated to get back to your normal routine the next day, boost your metabolism. But don't eat your cheat meals with guilt. Have it like, imagine that it's like a reward, a man of the match reward, so that you're just enjoying because you have worked so hard the whole week, you have exercised, you have studied well, you have like looked after your body as well. So that is just like a reward. So yeah, this was about cheat meals. And I'll just quote one example. While I was preparing for my BDS third year, I guess I was in my third year, and I remember that for 2 months, those preparation leaves, I did not eat anything outside, and I had decided that as I get back, I'll go out with my mother and have a good cheat meal. So I had a chicken biryani with dahi raita. So yeah, so you should like, it should be like a reward, because 2 months I worked hard. So it should be like a reward. It should not be ki daily ka routine ho raha hai, ki every day you're going out with friends, and that hampers your study pattern also. Like you are not able to concentrate, and plus you're over socializing with your friends. So yeah, so this was about our cheat meals, which brings me to the most underrated aspect of fitness and like weight loss or whatever you call it. Sleep is of utmost importance, even for an exam going student, for normal anybody actually. See, what happens is when you're sleeping, your body releases growth hormones and insulin like growth factors that help you like boost your metabolism, increase concentration. Basically, your whole body is being repaired at that time. Your protein is being assimilated. So you need to actually, if you don't sleep well, you'll start aging earlier. You won't be able to concentrate. Basically, you will not feel fresh the whole day, and you're just irritable the whole day. So of course, then studies are going to be at a toss. Like so sleep for like and proper like keep proper timings. Like sleep early, wake up early. Always follow that pattern. Wake up at the same time daily. Start your day with a good workout that will help you sleep better again. And avoid like using gadgets an hour prior to your sleep time. Yeah, so these are good few tips. And you can also meditate. You can just revise, brush up what you have studied the whole day. Like that will help you, because if you're using gadgets release a lot of light, which emits a lot of light, which actually confuses our brain that it's still daytime and it doesn't sleep well. And also try having an early dinner, like say like around your sunset. That actually helps you sleep better. So this is a good tip. Also, you can have milk before sleeping. That is sleep inducive. Which brings me to our like favorite topic of youngsters, caffeine. See, I've seen students consuming a lot of caffeine. Like they are just for those midnight runs, like whole night they're just staying awake, and maybe just a day prior to the exam. So I would say that caffeine, tea or coffee, whatever you're having, any caffeinated drink is not bad, but of course in moderation. Like it, because caffeine is a stimulant, it will stimulate your brain, you will perform better, but you should not be addicted to it. 2 cups a day would be fine. Avoid having tea after 5 p.m. Now don't start your day with tea. Like have your banana, then go for your tea. Don't overdo it. Don't skip your main meals and start having chai. Like have chai at proper time, like maybe with your evening snack at 4 o'clock, like those chuda and all, chuda chakli that we have. And maybe like an hour after your breakfast you can have it. Like yeah, and also remember that don't include it with your main meals, because caffeine hampers your mineral absorption. So don't overdo it, because it will actually hamper your sleep cycle. And again, as I've mentioned earlier also, that if you're prepared the whole year for your exam, you're just revising in your preparation leave, so you don't have to stay up all night, because sleep is of utmost importance to perform better in your exams. So don't overdo with caffeine is what I say, but I won't stop you from having it, because it has a lot of advantages. It has antioxidants. Yeah, it's like a traditional drink in our country, in fact worldwide. So you should have tea, but in moderation. Which brings me to our processed and packaged sugar, like food. See what these endorsements and these big companies are doing. They are just trying to fool everyone to earn money. These endorsements hire those celebrities which get a lot of money, and like see at the end for the celebrity, they'll just earn their money, they'll leave, and I'm sure they won't eat. I don't think they eat those things that they endorse, because when you're eating something that is coming out of a packet, it actually makes your brain really lethargic. Plus you are consuming unnecessary your unnecessary chemicals, preservatives, and also especially for girls, because the food is covered with plastic. So the plastic coming in contact with your food actually creates an imbalance between your hormones, which causes PCOD. So avoid having things coming out of a plastic. Instead, like say for example, you are craving to have uncle chips. Instead, make French fries at home. How hard is that? Like you can do that. Like you can ask whatever you're craving for. I'm sure everything this corona thing has realized us, this pandemic, that we can make anything at home. Like I have started baking my pizza base also at home. You don't have to go out and buy anything. So like try making things at home as far as possible. Of course, I am asking you to, like, I'm not stopping you from having cheat meals. You can include them, but avoid those colas, and actually that makes your brain really lethargic. So this brings us to this is very important, how to control your portion size. See, I mentioned earlier that you should have small and many frequent meals. You should not include like just 2 or 3 meals and like eating a lot of food. That cannot, like your stomach is just this size, like 2 palm size. It cannot digest so much of food together. So ideally, eat small portions. And how will you eat small portions is by following a principle called as mindful eating. Here, whenever you're eating food, firstly close your, like switch off your gadgets, focus on your food, like pray to God for 2 minutes, close your eyes, thank God for because you're getting that food. Consider it as God, because in our country food is considered as God. It's Annapurna. So respect food and chew every bite 32 times. Slowly eat every bite. Don't start preparing the next bite when one bite is in your mouth. This actually helps you eat less. Like, you will actually stop at the right time. Why? Because our brain tends to send a signal to our stomach sends a signal to our brain that I am full, you should stop eating now. But in like this day and age, we are eating food so fast that we actually just don't realize when we have overeaten. And after overeating, our brain becomes lethargic, and then we just want to sleep, we don't want to study. So yeah, so follow this mindful eating, and I'm sure that will do wonders for your fitness and for your exam performance. Which brings me to my source of inspiration, because whenever you are having your any journey, like maybe your career goals or your fitness goals or whatever, you should have some inspiration, I feel. And for me, in my fitness journey, there were two inspiration. One was Kareena Kapoor and one was Akshay Kumar. So I saw Akshay Kumar, a video of Akshay Kumar, a fitness video, in which he said that he gets up early, he sleeps early, he doesn't attend parties, he comes back home at 4 o'clock, like 4 to 6, like between that, and he just uses his phone only while the time he comes back, like on his way. And he switches off his phone. He spends those 3 hours till 9 o'clock with his family without any gadgets. He eats his dinner by 6:30. So I have actually started following this. Like, this is my ground rule for life. I have started following this, and I can see like wonders happening to my body. And the second was Kareena Kapoor, whose photograph and whose promotional video that I saw when she was promoting her movie Veere Di Wedding, just after delivering Taimur. She was flaunting her abs, and I was so mesmerized by her that I just started following what she is actually trying to eat, and how is she like maintaining so well. How did she lose those like that weight that she gained during her pregnancy? And that made me search a lot about her diet. And she is also like, I found that she's eating everything that is local, seasonal, traditional, simple food, our roti sabzi dal chawal that is made in our house, in our own kitchens. So these two things I have started following, and I have seen wonders happening to my fitness, my exam performance, because even I am like studying, I am doing post graduation in food and nutrition, I am doing PhD in oral pathology. So even I am a student till now, though I'm working, but I'm still a student, and I have seen that my performance is way better than what it was earlier. So yeah, start doing this. And of course, I would say that you should also have some source of inspiration or some why in your life that you want to achieve those things. So this was about my inspiration, and that's how we come to the end of my talk. I thank you all for your patient listening. And I thank Team JCI for allowing me to share my experiences and giving me this lovely opportunity to be in such an august gathering. And thank you all for your patient listening. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sanjana.
Yeah, it was a great session, ma'am. So many important points. I have noted down them so that I can follow it during my exams. Very wonderful points and tips you have given us. I hope all the students take benefit of that tips and utilize them during their exams. Now it's time for questions. I request all the participants to just put up their questions in the chat box. I'll read them out for ma'am. My first question is that in what intervals we should have food during exams?
What intervals? As I said, I've already mentioned in the talk that we should have your, even for a normal person also, you should have 3 main meals: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And your mid meals, like when you're getting up, you're having your water and your banana. Then you're having your breakfast, say after 1.5 hours of your wake up, like whenever you're waking up. Then after 2 hours, you can have your nimbu pani or some fruit. And then 2 hours after that, you have your lunch, then you have your evening snack, and then you have your dinner. So, and yeah, if you're hungry in the night, like people who are staying up all night, they can have nuts, they can have milkshakes, like good healthy snacks. And yeah, if somebody is hungry before sleeping, then they can have haldi doodh or anything that you like, nutmeg or whatever you can add to it. So yeah, so this is a good meal plan for any exam going student.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. The next question is it okay if instead of outdoor exercise, we do yoga at home or some light exercise?
Uh, See, like you're talking about general, right? Like your general while you are preparing for your exams. Can you just repeat the question?
Instead of outdoor exercise, can we do yoga at home or
Yeah,
light exercise?
totally. I would actually recommend you. I had been doing this for all the like the Corona times when we were stuck at home. So I started doing this. There was a channel on YouTube called as Fitness Blender. I started doing that. Like they give workouts from 5 minutes to 1.5 hours. So depending on how much time you have, and all varieties of workouts they are giving. So yeah, include like do that. Yoga is a good option. Anything like light exercise at home won't do. In fact, yoga and your strength training at home is much better than doing excessive cardio. Like, and the way you're doing it is more important than just to do it. You're just doing it. Do it for less hours, but do it properly. Like the technique should also be proper. Just for doing it, don't do it. Yeah.
Okay, the next question is which foods can consider as a good fat?
Good fat, I've already mentioned ghee. Ghee is very important. Your nuts, peanuts, cashew nuts, all your dry fruits, your ghani oil, all these things are good fat. You include chutneys, coconut chutney. Coconut is a good source of, very good source of fat. So yeah, and you will having your fish, your eggs, milk and milk products, those things. Yeah. So good fats, like these are good fats.
Okay.
But ghee is of utmost importance. Ghee you need to have for proper concentration. Yeah.
The next is how to prevent cravings, sorry. Sugar cravings, how to prevent.
How to prevent sugar cravings?
Yes.
Okay. See, when first thing is that I've talked about banana. So if you start your day with a banana, you will never get any sugar cravings. Secondly, if you don't skip your meals, then also you will never get sugar cravings. Thirdly, if you're hydrated, you will never get sugar cravings. And fourth is if you're including ghee in your main meals, then your sugar will be stable when you're eating food. So that वो खाने के बाद जो craving आती है ना, वो नहीं आएगी. And if you are getting that craving, then have a little bit of good and ghee. Like that is really tasty. It actually is very healthy. It helps you in your iron assimilation and all those things. So yeah, so you can do these things. And of course, like as I mentioned, your mid-meal snacks like your laddus and halwas and all those things, if you have that, if you start, actually cravings come when you stop having it. You just, when you are running away from it, then you get craving. If you're eating, like for your cheat meals, you can have your Western desserts if you are really fond of chocolates or your pastries, but of course choose Indian desserts over Western desserts for your mid-meal snacks like a laddu and all those things. So that won't harm. Like, yeah.
Ma'am, what if we make intermittent fasting as lifestyle around 16 hours a day?
See, according to our Ayurvedic principle, I'll talk about already the pattern that we follow. Like ideally, earlier people used to have their dinner by 6:30 or 7, and the next meal would have been like say at 8 when we get up, like your breakfast or your whatever. So already we are doing this intermittent fasting. Naturally, we were doing it, but अब ये जो myth आया है कि मतलब वो नाम आ गया है डाइट का, तो doesn't make any sense to me because intermittent fasting is always focusing on your insulin and your growth hormone, but there are other hormones also in your body. So yeah, like eating normally, like our breakfast, lunch, dinner, early dinner is automatically you're following your intermittent fasting. You, like कुछ special करने की जरूरत नहीं है उसके लिए. And don't run like एकदम भी वो जो इतना लॉन्ग गैप आता है ना, डोंट डू दैट. लाइक say I have my dinner at 6:30, I have milk say at 8:30 or 9, I sleep early, get up very early like 5:30 or 6, I have my banana at that time. So automatically you're having say like a long gap, like that is already enough. Don't overdo with that gap. So yeah, don't follow that. 16 hours is too much of not eating. Like you will land up with acidity. And even I had tried that intermittent initially and I failed miserably. Like I lost a lot of hair. My skin was like, I was falling ill. My skin was deteriorating. So do something that we had been naturally doing all this while. So yeah.
Ma'am, can you give some exercise tips in these times of confinement, especially for someone who hates dancing like Zumba and suck at yoga? Some exercise tips.
Okay, so see, even I was never a gym person. I never liked strength training and I never liked yoga. So I chose something that I really developed a passion, like develop a hobby, I would say. Join a class that you really love to do. I started doing cycling. Like when I returned back from my master's MDS, my father gifted me a bicycle, and I started that. And as it was mentioned in my introduction, I started taking part in cycle rallies and cycle races, and I just like developed that passion. Of course, I would say that includes some kind of muscle building or strength training, but yeah, do something. It's better than doing nothing. So do whatever you like. Like apart from walking, everything other than walking is an exercise. Cycling ho sakta hai wo, like you're just climbing your stairs up and down continuously for half an hour, doing surya namaskars or whatever, but just do something apart from walking. Yeah, and I would say that because, especially because we are exam going students, or maybe because we are preparing for our whatever exams we are having, we tend to avoid exercise, which is actually ignored a lot. So like join a class that will actually make sure you will go at least. So yeah, that is a good option.
Thank you, ma'am. Next is, while stress, eating like chocolates or sweets in between, will it affect us in a bad way?
See, chocolates, even I am fond of chocolate. So, chocolate, Western desserts should be a part of your cheat meal once a week. Your Indian desserts can surely be a part of your, like, see, in January we eat those, Sankranti ke time we eat those Tilgur laddus. Then Ganesh ji ke time pe we eat those modak. Holi ke time we have thandai. So these specific times, हर रोज तो कोई नहीं खाता है, लेकिन our Indian tradition daily तो नहीं खाते हैं, but once in a while जैसे लड्डू बना हुआ है या खीर है, खीर is very healthy. So that evening 4 o'clock when you are returning from your college, then that is the best time to have sweet. Like, but don't mix it with your main meals. Like what happens is when you eat your lunch, उसके बाद जब we have sugar ना, तब your insulin spikes and everything is converted into fat. So avoid that. I'm not stopping you to have sweet. It is very important for your body. Actually helps you like building your immunity and everything, like your concentration. So good time to have it is at 4. Avoid having after 5. And yeah, also you can once in a while skip your breakfast and have some dessert. I do that usually for my birthdays. Like just after my birthday, early morning, I'll skip my breakfast and have my piece of cake. So that once in a while is okay. Daily, if you're consuming, then of course anything like if you're overdoing it, will harm you. So yeah, this was about sugar.
Ma'am, do dark chocolate in small quantities is beneficial?
Yeah, it is beneficial, and it won't harm also. Like people are running away from. It has good antioxidants, I believe. Yeah, so you can have dark chocolate is not a harm, but as I said again and again, I'm mentioning anything in moderation is good. Like I love having cakes, but that's just once a month or maybe once in 6 months. You're having a samosa, have it once in a year. Decide those special occasions in your life, like say your friend's birthday or your mother's birthday. So decide that. Like on my birthday, I usually have samosa or a cake. Decide that and do it. Like daily, and if you eat it daily, फिर वो junk food का भी मजा नहीं आता है. So chocolates won't harm. Like once in a while, once a week, you can surely have it.
Ma'am, is eating paneer healthy during exam times?
Yeah, surely it is very healthy. You can have a paneer sandwich for your 4 o'clock meal. You can have a paneer paratha for your breakfast. That is a good post-workout meal also. Or your paneer paratha. Or you can have in the evening for your dinners. You can have rice and paneer ka curry. What you make like paneer ka jo matar paneer and all those things. So it's a very good option. Otherwise, also it's very healthy. But make sure you're having some kind of carbs with it. Don't just people have seen just eating paneer. So you need to eat carbs also. Otherwise, that combination like won't help you. Always remember that animal protein and plant protein together are absorbed better. Example: paneer and rice, or maybe curd and rice. Like you make kheer out of it. So that combination, actually, our Indian tradition is very scientific. So you need to follow the proper principles. Paneer is very healthy.
Will I become anemic if I am vegetarian?
I don't think so. But yeah, for girls, especially in India, because anemia is the most prevalent deficiency in India. Almost every girl is suffering from like every girl is anemic. If you are really anemic, like your hemoglobin levels are really low, then you should go for supplements. But preferably, I don't like consuming unnecessarily. Medicines are not good. So ideally have your green leafy vegetables. Egg yolk has good amounts of iron. Then your jaggery has good amounts of iron. Sugar cane, your green leafy vegetables I've mentioned, spinach, radish leaves have a lot of iron. Yeah, so but make sure if you're having iron, you need to have vitamin C with it. Then only that will be absorbed. So your nimbu pani or your amla a day. So all these things, instead of apple, I feel it should be the saying should be amla a day keeps doctor away. जो होता है ना, वो वैसे तो include vitamin C with your iron. So yeah, so this was about iron. And yeah, like what was the question? Actually, I forgot the question.
Will I become anemic if I am vegetarian?
No, vegetarianism doesn't like मैंने जितने भी 90% एग्जांपल्स बताए वो सब वेजिटेरियन ही है. एक्चुअली क्या होता है अपन विटामिन सी नहीं खाते हैं तो इसलिए आयरन डेफिशिएंट हो जाते हैं. एंड वी आर ईटिंग आयरन बट वो अब्सॉर्ब नहीं हो रहा है. तो स्पिनच एंड ऑल दीज थिंग्स के साथ आप विटामिन सी भी खाओ. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है कि एंड मेरे को पहले बताओ कि पहले के जमाने में लोग जो वेजिटेरियंस थे अभी तक लाइक हैव यू एवर सीन कि एंसेस्टर्स अपने दादी नानी जो वेजिटेरियन है उनको कुछ भी हुआ है? लाइक I don't think so. It's the correct way of eating, like you're maintaining your portion size, and like that's why it will digest better. And if you have a good digestive system, it will absorb better. So yeah, include vitamin C, I feel, rather than becoming a non-vegetarian. Egg yolks have enough iron, which meat will give you. So yeah.
Having oats in breakfast is beneficial.
Oats, I would not recommend. See, oats is something exotic, like it's coming from some Western world. It has a lot of fiber. Excess fiber hampers your mineral absorption in the intestine, and like benefit करने से ज़्यादा नुकसान करेगा वो. तो instead have rice. For your breakfast, good option is poha instead of having your oats. Poha or upma, or maybe sometimes you can have sabudana, puri aloo. These have right amounts of fiber. Oats has too much of fiber, so that hampers your, it causes a lot of problem in your intestine, hampers your, you will get nutritional deficiencies like your mineral deficiencies because it's hampering its absorption. So yeah, this was about oats.
Should we drink water immediately after eating lunch or dinner, or should we wait for 30 minutes?
It's a very good question. See, people tend to do this mistake. Even I have done this for many years, but I realized it that when food is digesting in your stomach, it should be in an acidic environment because your gastric juices are acidic, work in acidic environment. That's why your pH is a little less when the food is getting digested. But when you drink water, you're neutralizing that acid and it won't digest. The food won't digest, and basically you will slow down your metabolism. So ideally, an hour after or half an hour prior to your meal, have your water, and also sit and drink ideally, and mix every sip with saliva and then swallow it. Don't just gulp it down. It won't like let the saliva mix, and then these are good few tips. And I've mentioned about the urine color previously in my talk. So yeah, follow that.
Yeah. So ma'am, every time after a meal, we should wait for 30 minutes for water?
Ideally an hour, and
Okay.
before your like your lunch or whatever, have it half an hour prior to your. Don't have it immediately. If you want to have it immediately, you're really thirsty, you're like forgotten to drink water pehle bhi. So then have sip by sip, dheere dheere. Don't just keep gulping it down. Like once in a while hota hai वैसा, but like ideally you should make this a habit that half an hour या 1 hour तो रुकना ही है मतलब पानी. And now it's a habit for me. पहले initially I used to just swallow every bite with water. Like पानी के बिना I could not swallow. But then I developed this habit. I started chewing. When you mix it with saliva, you feel less thirsty, I feel. Yeah. So.
Thank you, ma'am. Any particular food for PCOD?
Yeah. Good food is banana. Very important. It's very important. Because it's actually what happens is banana has a nutrient that balances all your hormones. So if you start your day with banana, you will actually reverse your thyroid and PCOD. Second is ghee. Third point which I mentioned in my talk is packaged food. What happens is packaged food, the plastic that the food is coming in contact with has estrogen. Sorry, it has xenoestrogen chemical, which mimics estrogen in our body. It enters our body and creates an imbalance between all the hormones, and that leads to PCOD. Then you will have infertility, breakouts, your painful periods, whatnot, like irregular periods, cysts, and like your life just becomes horrible when you are like going through these hormonal disorders. So this plastic packaged food, avoid using it, carry your steel dabbas. Like yeah, these are good few tips. Store your things in steel dabbas rather than glass. Carry your bottles like steel, glass, or copper bottles. Like I have shown it, I have my copper bottle with me. So yeah, these are good few tips for PCOD. And yeah, I forgot to mention exercise and sleep are very important. They're very important role here. Yeah, sleep. If you sleep better, you will recover your overworked ovaries or your overworked thyroid or whatever the thing has gone wrong. So yeah.
Um, does drinking green tea thrice a day after every meal is good for health?
See, green tea, first of all, is a wrongly marketed drink. It is not a weight loss drink. I'll just share a small thing with you. In one of the research labs, it was proven that green tea has an antioxidant called as ECEG, which was found to cause weight loss, but in those amounts which is present in 13 cups of green tea. So if you consume daily 13 cups of green tea, then it will be of any benefit. But if you have so much of tea, then you won't be able to sleep. So it is a totally wrongly marketed. Plus, I feel it does not taste also really well. And plus, you are wasting double the money. So rather have your proper black, like your proper doodh wali chai or your coffee, whatever you like, with proper sugar, with those ginger and all those things that we add, which like enhances its medicinal properties. And of course, caffeine is a stimulant. It will help you boost your metabolism. I'm not stopping you, but green tea is totally a myth and a big no-no from my side. I would say that chai, like your normal chai, I really enjoy that because green tea doesn't taste also really well. Like, and of course, what you were asking me is that after your lunch or after your meals, see, caffeine hampers again your mineral absorption. So avoid. That's why I said give a gap of an hour between your tea and your main meals. Ideally, with your evening snack, like 4 p.m. with your peanuts or your sandwich, or maybe what I do is I have it maybe half an hour or 1 hour or 2 hours after my breakfast. I never have it with my main meals. That's the golden rule.
Thank you, ma'am. That was a very useful tip. Um, fruits that may help us in concentration in studies and health.
Fruits
Yes,
or food.
fruits.
Fruits.
Yes.
Okay. Banana again. Uh, and baki sugarcane is a good option. Baki any other fruit rather I would say. These two are very important. But any other fruit that is traditional and seasonal and local. Like अभी बीच में जामुन का वो 15 days का एक पैच आता है जब सिर्फ जामुन मिलते हैं. Then winters में custard apple, then grapes है, पपीता है. तो जो season है और our Indian fruit, summers में mango, winters में custard apple, चीकू आता है. So like your seasonal fruit, see I'll tell you जो temperature में वो fruit grow हो रहा है. For example, if olive is being grown in Italy, in Europe, in that cold environment, तो वो olive oil वहीं पे digest होता है, वो यहाँ पे digest नहीं होगा. तो same goes here. Mango ये temperature, summers के temperature में digest होगा. So instead of choosing like आजकल लोग kiwi और ये सब avocado खाते हैं, but mango और banana से दूर भागते हैं. I would say have your local things that are available rather than running for avocado, which is double the cost and you're wasting money, you're burning your pocket, it's not being absorbed, doing nothing to your concentration or your body or your fitness. So have something that is locally available, seasonal and traditionally eaten.
So the next is should we avoid any food to lose weight? Any specific food to lose weight?
Packaged food, firstly. Your colas and your those things that are coming out of chips and Maggie and those things. Part of your that should be once in a while part of your cheat meal. And I have like started doing this. Like anything that I used to earlier eat in a plastic. Now, for example, if I'm outside and I've forgotten my water bottle, I'll rather have ganne ka juice or lassi rather than or nimbu pani rather than having fruity or Coca-Cola. This is one thing, packaged food. Second thing, your exotic foods, which I mentioned, quinoa, oats, brown rice, your green tea and avocado and kiwi and all those things, your cornflakes, ये सब जो exotic चीजें, waffles, ये सब जो बाहर से market में आ रहा है वो सब. I am not stopping you to have it as a cheat meal. And yeah, and I guess these two things will actually majorly change your health. Like, if you stop eating junk food, half the battle is won. Eat freshly made food at home. And yeah, of course, it's a holistic approach after all, like your exercise, your hydration, your sleep, your balancing your cheat meals, meditating daily, having a proper diet on right time, don't skip your meals. Like, yeah, starting your day with a good exercise, never skipping your breakfast, having an early dinner. So it's a holistic thing. But yeah, these two things should surely be avoided. Yeah.
I think the last question, buttermilk that is consumed soon after lunch, does it have any
Yeah.
effects on digestion?
Yeah, it has miraculous benefits. It actually जो lunch के बाद में जो bloating होती है ना, that it avoids. Helps you absorb your minerals better, and basically it's for reducing your bloating. जो खाने के बाद में usually होता है. And of course for good absorption, good digestion, it will surely help you because see, दही से बनता है वो. Dahi has good bacteria, the probiotic bacteria that is present in the intestine, which is good gut bacteria that is needed for your digestion. So, जो gas or bloating होती है, that will be avoided, and basically better absorption, better जो nutrient deficiency होती है ना, जो micronutrient वो भी चले जाएगी, because of course your gut is healthy with those good gut bacteria. So I recommend having chas after me. That is our tradition ideally. Like with that thali, we get a glass of chas or lassi. So yeah, that is a good way of eating food.
Ma'am, this is my personal question that as you said that we should not drink water after a meal, but if we're drinking buttermilk after the meal, there is difference between the both, right?
Right. You can have water actually. See, this curd, the combination of curd with food, as I said, like say you will have your rice, your those things, your meal. Like जैसे खाने में जो spices हैं, वो acidic होते हैं, तो उसको वो balance कर रहा है. आयुर्वेदिक प्रिंसिपल के हिसाब से एज आई मेंशन कर्ड राइस खाते हैं साथ में, तो वो उसको डाइजेस्ट भी अच्छे से करता है बिकॉज उसमें गुड गट बैक्टीरिया है, तो वो जो एसिड है उसको वो अफेक्ट नहीं करेगा, बट रैदर वो जो खाना है उसको बेटर ऑब्जॉर्ब करेगा. लाइक जैसे मैंने खीर का एग्जांपल बताया कि राइस के साथ अपन मिल्क कर रहे हैं, तो वो दोनों का जो कॉम्बिनेशन है, प्लांट प्रोटीन है, एनिमल प्रोटीन, वो बेटर ऑब्जॉर्ब होगा. आई डोंट थिंक इट विल हार्म यू. लाइक वो एसिडिक एनवायरनमेंट जो है वो वाटर neutralize करता है, but chance will help you absorb it better.
Okay, there's one
This is
more
a nice question actually.
Thank you, ma'am. There is one more question. Why does people get bloated often, though they does their workout routine?
What I didn't get the question. Like workout का क्या था वो?
Why does people get bloated oftenly?
Right.
They work out routinely. मतलब they have their workout routinely, but then also
Okay. That is because firstly you are keeping long gaps in your meals. Second, this chance wala tip is good. Thirdly, you are dehydrated. Fourthly, start including things that have good gut, like that will help you increase your good gut bacteria, like pickles, chutney. Pickles have probiotics. Chutney, rice, chance I've already mentioned, dahi. So these things will help you get rid of bloating and avoid having long gaps. Keep yourself hydrated. Yeah, that is good thing to avoid these problems.
Okay. I think now we should stop questions because there are a lot many.
This won't end.
Yeah, this
won't end.
Just one last question. Do drinking cold water is bad for health? The fridge water.
Yeah, it is. Ideally, it should be. You should have matka or normal room temperature water. उसको हीट भी मत करो और उसको मतलब जबरदस्ती ठंडा पानी पीने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. हैव योर नॉर्मल रूम टेम्परेचर और मटका वाटर इफ यू रियली लाइक कोल्ड वाटर. इट एक्चुअली हैम्पर्स योर टेम्परेचर रेगुलेशन का जो मैकेनिज्म है, इट हैम्पर्स दैट. सो या
there are a lot many questions coming.
Yeah, so go on. I don't mind answering.
Is there any problem if we are skipping of a dinner?
Yeah, that is a major. I said any meal that you're skipping is a big danger and a big no-no. See, what happens is, what role does dinner play? I'll tell you. Usually we eat rice or dal for dinner, khichdi or something light. Why? Because this complete combination makes it a complete protein. All the amino acids are present in dal, rice or khichdi, curry or pulao, raita or biryani, dahi. So this combination of proper protein that you're consuming, that will help you absorb. When you're sleeping, the protein is absorbed at that time. So you need proper amount of protein to go to sleep, and something that is light, because after sunset your stomach cannot digest a lot of food because of lack of digestive enzymes. The glands stop producing those enzymes after sunset. So yeah, so this is a good trick to, but never skip your dinner. Early dinner, I would say light and early dinner, but never skip your dinner.
Okay. Uh, Now I request everyone to stop their questions because
You
they're
can actually anytime you can DM me on Instagram, or
yeah,
like maybe you can just give my number to them.
yeah,
They
sure.
can directly. I also plan diets for people like there are a lot of, I've like completed a lot of clients also. Like I've been working since 2 years as a nutritionist.
Yeah,
So
even
like you all can.
I
I'll
will
give
be
my
I
phone number and email. You can share it with them.
yeah, I'll share with them, and even I will be uploading this recording completely in the YouTube. So you can
Yeah,
even ask there also. Ma'am will definitely reply you.
correct.
As only just one last questions, and I'm ending with this. Ma'am, I have the problem that I can't eat more than 2 chapati. After that, I started to gagging and nausea problem. So what should I do, ma'am? This is a
So it's
doubt.
good, na? Like maybe because that's, I told you that you get the signal from stomach to your brain to stop eating. So ideally, when you're getting up from your dinner table, even if it's half a chapati, you should feel light on your stomach. Should never feel bloated or overeating वाली जो feeling आती है ना जब अपन हाथ धोने जाते हैं, that should not be there. So even I eat only one chapati, but with full concentration, and I stop at the right time. You should understand the signal from your, that is coming from your stomach to your brain, rather than, it's okay if you're having 2 chapatis, that is okay. In fact, I would say serve yourself half the amount of what you eat. Like if you eat 2 rotis, serve yourself one. I'm sure you will be done with that one roti. We are just unnecessarily eating it because you're seeing it on a plate. So try recognizing your signals and try getting connected with your stomach is what I would say.
Okay. There's no more questions. So thank you,
Okay.
everyone. So many questions, so many good answers, so many good tips. Ma'am, very
Thank
well.
you.
You have explained everyone. I hope everyone doubts is clear. Ma'am, even as the chat box is filled with questions, but there are many more comments for the session.
Okay, I'll just read it. I did not go through it.
Yeah, ma'am, surely you go through it once. There are lot many reviews to you.
Okay.
So now moving towards the session end, I request Junior JC Secretary JC Ayush Bangadia to kindly give the formal vote of thanks. Over to you, Ayush.
Thank you, Sanjana. Don't focus on how much you eat, focus on what you eat, as a sustainable and balanced diet is what's going to set you up for long-term success. A very good evening to everyone. It gives me an immense pleasure to propose the vote of thanks for such a wonderful event. I would especially like to thank our trainer, Dr. Suchi Batra ma'am, for guiding us perfectly through her ideas and experiences. We all will definitely try to think and act on it accordingly, ma'am. I would also like to thank our JSI Nagpur Medico President, Dr. Swati Sarda ma'am, for her constant support. I would like to thank Junior JC President, JC Sanjana Agrawal, Project Director, Vibho Ladhad, and Project Secretary, JC Anusha Divase, for making this event successful. And last but not the least, I would like to thank all the audience for being so patient, and I hope you all enjoyed the training. Once again, thank you everyone.
Thank you, Ayush. With the due respect of Suchi ma'am, yeah, Swati ma'am. Ma'am, would you like to say something, Swati ma'am?
Dr. Suchi, I think it was a wonderful information given by you,
Thank you.
and truly all of them, not only all the students, but I think all members also will get benefited once we upload it on our YouTube channel. And
Right.
very interactive question answer session also. So thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for being here and guiding all our students. And
Thank you so much.
thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It was really a pleasure to be here with all of you with such a nice gathering, and I hope to see you all again.
Definitely.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sanjana.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Swati ma'am, should I end the meeting? Yeah. Suchi ma'am, thank you so much for
Thank you.
giving a wonderful talk. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you all. Thank you all the audience. Thank you.